Hello and welcome. So today, we are going to be checking out the Trigger Tutorial Map by finding Pudge. Learn basic triggers with this map tutorial, easy to understand in-game showcasing of triggers in action, then go back into the editor to see how it was done. Yes, this is not a mission map, but does have mission-like objectives to teach new players the basics of map making. This is a tutorial map. This is the thing, I think maybe this has to do with, like, maybe translation issues, like, maybe some of the international audience doesn't know what these kinds of maps are right off the bat, because, like, this obviously does not deserve 1 star. That's just silly. Just like, the template maps, when those get put out, people don't understand what they are. They downvote them as well. Doesn't make any sense. I did not like check out this entire thing, but I went into it for like a couple seconds just to see what it was like, because I didn't know what to expect, and it actually is brilliant. So let's go in. Welcome, citizen. Greetings and welcome. This concise map tutorial is crafted to provide you with a solid foundation for creating a simple map using fundamental triggers. As you grow more accustomed to the editor and gain a deeper comprehension of triggers, you'll observe the repetition of certain triggers. With this knowledge and confidence, you'll be able to design more complex maps and even craft complete campaigns for the enjoyment of your fellow citizens. Consider this not only as a welcoming message, but also as your initial guide to embark on your map-making journey. While you are in the editor, you have the capability to launch the map at any time to test it and witness the triggers in action. This allows you to ensure that they function as you intended. This map incorporates all the essential folders and trigger setups required for each section, providing you with an opportunity to play and learn from them. Each folder is named according to the section it covers. Within each folder, you'll find subfolders and triggers that contain the building blocks of how everything works for that section. Feel free to explore them, they won't be too intimidating. When you close this dialog pop-up box, you will be greeted with a briefing trigger that includes audio. Enjoy your learning experience. Regards, Finding Pudge.
Welcome to this in-game tutorial map. The Federation needs more citizens like you to help shape the world and beat back the bugs. Start by clicking on any of the green terminals. You can choose any order you like. After you're happy, you can return to the editor to delve into the mechanics of the triggers to see how they work.
You see what I mean? This is insane. The amount of effort that went even into this tutorial is insane. All right, and by the way, I was just like showing this from here. We're gonna back out and we're gonna go into the editor to show what it looks like from there. But all right. Reinforcement triggers. This section will be on unit reinforcing in certain scenarios. The mission you're designing might lack a radio post or a drop site or unit reinforcement. However, you still want to provide the player with a means to reinforce their units. This is where the trigger reinforce unit or unit reinforce comes into play. Triggers used in this section. Condition, unit near target. Effect, unit reinforce, text bubble add. To ensure this trigger operates consistently, be sure to adjust the value in the trigger execute box from 1 to -1 if you want the player to be able to always be able to reinforce from this location. If you want the reinforcement to occur only once or twice, you can either keep the value in the trigger execute box as 1 or change it to 2. After closing this dialog box, you can gain a better understanding of how this all works. In this section, click on the green flag.
Move your combat engineers to the doors. On the left side, only one squad can be reinforced, while on the right side, you can reinforce as many times as needed.
Engineers
Yes,
report.
sir.
Engineers, follow me.
See, not gonna work.
Yes, sir. Engineers.
And if you were in the editor,
Tell us what to do.
you would be able to, if the description was not enough, that is, you would be able to go and specifically look at
Yes, sir.
how this was done in the
Engineers,
editor.
follow me. Tell us what to do.
Which we'll get to that part. We'll get to that part. We will look at this in there as well.
Select a terminal.
Yeah, let's go through all these, then we'll go look in the editor. This section will focus on unit redeploy. If you intend to relocate units from point A to point B, you'll need to employ a pair of triggers for this setup. Triggers used in this section: condition, unit near target effect, unit redeploy, text bubble add, unit spawn. To ensure this trigger operates consistently, be sure to adjust the value in the trigger execute box from 1 to -1. Unfortunately, the redeploy trigger only functions for units with blackboard names or units that are already pre-placed on the map. Therefore, if a player manually spawns a rifle squad from a radio post, this trigger won't affect them. However, the trigger will function if the unit is spawned in through a trigger and assigned a blackboard name. After closing this dialog box, you can gain a better understanding of how this all works by moving the units to the floor's logo and testing by clicking on the green terminals.
Only pre-placed units or units with blackboard names can make use of the redeploy trigger. Give it a try. Click on the terminals to spawn in units and observe the results.
Engineers
Yes,
report.
sir. Message, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Okay, up, down.
Yes, sir.
Tell us what to do. Stash your tools and move out. Affirmative. Stash your tools and engineers, follow me. Yes,
And that
sir.
one don't work for them
Stash your tools and move
because they don't
out.
have the blackboard name.
What is good to go? Roger that. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Hoorah!
Which I suppose you could use this for if you've got like a main character that needs to go do something.
Roger
So you make it so only the main character can go through
Hoorah!
by doing this.
Select a terminal.
Unit remove triggers. This section will focus on unit remove. There may be situations in your mission where you need to bring a unit to a specific location. And once the unit reaches that location, it should be removed from the map. There are several methods to achieve this, but the end result is the same. Method 1. You can have your units removed by having them enter an invisible carrier placed in front of a door or ship. This method will remove one soldier from the squad until all have moved into the carrier, and after a specified wait trigger, the entire squad will be removed. This method requires the unit to have a blackboard name and can take a while to complete. Method 2. Units can be instantly removed when they enter the trigger radius. This is the quickest method and does not require any blackboard names. This will work on pre-placed units or spawned units. Method 3. Units can be evacuated by a dropship. And this method requires the unit to have a blackboard name or be pre-placed on the map. So, these two are kind of the same, just one is invisible. Alright, conditions. Units near target, wait, unit selected, effects, unit remove, enter carrier, unit order transport, enable/disable trigger, and unit spawn. After closing this dialog box, you can gain a... Oh yes, we won't read that every time.
There are various approaches to remove units from the map. You can choose between instant removal, evacuation via a dropship, or having them enter doors. Each method has its own time frame for achieving the removal.
Okay, let's see what the invisible... Okay, so the carrier, it's not a invisible dropship. Carrier can be a door. Okay.
Roger that.
Okay, that's pretty neat.
Sir.
All right, move to the door. Okay, that one just has them instantly disappear. This one, it's just going to show them going straight to it.
Select a terminal.
Unit owner switch triggers. This section will cover unit owner switch. There may be instances in your mission where the player discovers hidden troops or is provided with additional troops or a specified objective. We will focus on how you can achieve this using two methods, both of which yield the same result but through different triggers. Method 1, by bringing another unit in close proximity to another. Method 2, by capturing an objective. Triggers used in this section: units near target, unit ownership, affects unit owner switch.
Switching units to player control can be accomplished through various means. Move your tactical officer closer to the squad on the right to gain instant control. The squad on the left, the terminal must be captured first to achieve the same outcome.
Look alive! Affirmative.
And then we'll move close to these.
Yes, sir. Hurrah!
We did it.
Select a terminal.
Unit type, switch triggers. This section will concentrate on unit type switch. You might need to change what a unit transforms into or swap one building for another. The example here will demonstrate how to switch an empty supply pad to a full one. Once a empty supply pad to a full one once a terminal has been captured, or change a team of personnel into a team of combat engineers by bringing them close to the support center. Triggers used in this section: unit near target, unit ownership, unit type switch, unit owner switch, enable/disable trigger. Upon closing... Oh, I almost read it again.
You might need to change what a unit represents or switch a building to another type. You can achieve this through a unit type switch. Give it a try, move your squad to the support center, then capture the terminal.
Come on, people!
Select a terminal.
Yeah, this for a tutorial mission, this should have 5 stars. Yeah, this tutorial's insane. Unit spawn triggers. This section will delve into unit spawning. You can activate events that spawn new units for players through drop sites or buildings using invisible carriers once specific conditions are met. For example, this could be triggered by capturing an objective or simply by being in proximity to an object. You can also assign a blackboard name to a newly spawned unit. Triggers used in this section: conditions, units near target, unit ownership, wait, effects, unit spawn, text bubble add.
You can trigger different methods for spawning units for the player, whether it's through a dropship following a specific action or by approaching various locations around your map.
Sir, roger that.
You know, what I am wondering is about a feature that is not used nearly enough in these types of maps, which is points. Will this go over how to add the point system to a map?
Yes, sir. Good to go. Roger that.
I hope so. That definitely would be interesting to see how it does so, or how it is done.
Roger that.
We did it.
Select a terminal.
Briefing triggers. In this section, we will delve into briefings. Throughout your mission, you'll want to have a character who serves as the focal point, delivering orders and information. Briefings can be structured to block user input to ensure the briefing is heard or read, or you can provide the player with the option to skip the briefing. There are various ways to activate briefings, but we'll focus on the two basic methods for now, presenting both options, one with blocked user input, and the other allowing the player to skip by pressing the default key, escape. Briefings can also be either voiced with text or text only. If you don't have a sound file for your briefing, you'll have to rely on a text-based briefing. Briefings are the only way of player playing sound effects currently. You can also utilize briefings to create cinematic sequences within the game. However, achieving smooth timing and flow may require some practice. Triggers used in this section: units near target, unit ownership, effects briefing add, and text bubble add.
Briefings are a fundamental tool for conveying your story, much like I'm doing right now. These briefings can be presented with voice and text, or just text, and can be designed to be skippable or non-skippable.
You know, this also was described as a basic tutorial, implying that Finding Pudge may make more of these in the future. So if points, or like, because I was just thinking about when it mentioned the cinematic sequences, Finding Pudge is also known for his cinematic sequences. Like, sometimes in his missions, he'll do an actual cinematic opening to them. And it would be neat to see how to have something that shows how to do that as well.
Sir. Yes, sir. Roger that.
What happened here? How did the bugs get here? Better let Command know of this. They will not be too happy.
What's the situation? Understood.
Text only and skippable.
Comms base is operational, sir.
Command, the radio post is back under our control. What are your orders?
Sir, roger that.
Select a terminal.
Let's see. I mean, I'll spoil it for myself and look ahead. Timers. Unit special sent. Unit selected. Unit is attacked. Unit order advanced move. Revealer creates and camera focus. Hey, camera focus. Well, that might... We'll see. We'll see if that is exactly what I was mentioning. Text bubble add. EnableDisable triggers. Adding objectives, variables, random trigger, Hive-related triggers. Nothing about points. This section will concentrate on timers. Timers are a valuable tool for introducing delays in actions after certain criteria have been met. For instance, you can use timers to trigger a bug invasion, set up a simple ambush, or the timing of a briefing before it arrives. Among other possibilities, the choice is yours, and timers can add a significant level of variety to your mission. While timers might seem a bit confusing initially, they are straightforward to set up and can greatly enhance the dynamics of your mission. Triggers used in this section: unit conditions, units near target, unit ownership, check timer. Effects: briefing add, timer set, ability execute, enable/disable trigger. And I almost read this again.
Timers are excellent for creating delays in actions or providing players with a specific time frame to accomplish a goal. Why not give it a try? The left side features a 5-second timer, while the right side has a 10-second timer with an outcome at the end.
Yes? Affirmative.
Move here to start a 5-second timer.
This ain't gonna be a
Okay,
picnic.
timer name goes here.
Yes, sir. This ain't gonna
And
be a
it's gonna
picnic.
be, the outcome is that door opening.
Comms base is
Yes, sir.
operational, sir.
Awaiting transmission. Timers are an excellent way to provide the player with the necessary time to perform various actions. For instance, they can be used to allow the player to set up a defense line, capture an object, or make something, even if the timer is just to count down to open a gate or door. Yes, you can set it up to where this could be the thing that you're waiting for. The timer is you're waiting for the door to open, and you have to deal with bugs that you have to defend against while you are waiting. That kind of thing.
Sir, this ain't gonna be a picnic.
Select a terminal.
Unit special set triggers. This This section will address unit special set. In your mission, you may have a specific unit that needs special treatment, such as protection or to serve as a hero unit. You'll want this unit to stand out in a crowded field. Triggers used in this section. Conditions: unit near target. Effects: unit special set. Hex bubble add, unit owner switch.
Some units need to stand out, and one effective way to do so is by giving them a gold star. Whether it's a unit that requires protection or one that serves as a hero unit, this distinction can make them easily recognizable.
Engineers reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
This unit is now marked as a special, golden portrait, and star under it. Yes, there's the star, and this turns yellow.
Select a terminal.
Unit selected. Unit selected triggers. This straightforward section will explain unit selected. This trigger is useful when you want players to click on objects or units and have triggers associated with that click, much like what you did to make this dialog box appear. It can also be used to attach units and gain control over them. It's up to you how you make this trigger work. Triggers used in this section: conditions, unit selected, effects, text bubble add, unit owner switch.
Unit select triggers can be quite useful when you want to click on an object in the game world and have actions associated with that click. For instance, you can click on the terminal and observe what happens.
Turrets online.
Select a terminal.
Oh shit. I didn't mean to do that. Revealer. Create and camera focus triggers. This section will focus on revealer, create, and camera focus. There will be situations where you want to reveal a particular area of the map for a dramatic effect. This might happen when a player reaches a specific location or when a building or point is captured. This is when Revealer Create and Camera Focus are essential triggers to use. You can either have the revealed section appear for a certain amount of time or indefinitely. Triggers used in this section: conditions, units near target, effect, camera focus, revealer create.
You might want to expose a part of the game map and either pan the camera to it or swiftly relocate to that spot. For instance, you can unveil the next objective or reveal an enemy hive. Do this now by moving your tactical officer to the terminals.
Yes? Affirmative. This ain't gonna be a picnic.
We revealed the bugs.
Select a terminal.
Alright, I'm not going to accidentally drag my cursor. It does make me wonder what happens if you drag it over all of them at once. Unit is attacked, triggers. In this concise section, we will delve into Unit is attacked. As the name implies, this trigger is simple to understand. You can configure a trigger to activate when a specific unit is under attack. However, for this trigger to work, the unit in question must either be pre-placed or have a blackboard name. In this example, when the warrior is attacked, we will change the music that plays and initiate a briefing. Triggers used in this section: unit is attacked, affects music play, briefing add, mini-map ping.
You can establish triggers so that when an enemy unit is attacked, associated actions take place. Attacking the warrior bugs here will trigger a briefing, a minimap ping, and a change in music.
Commander, you have engaged the bugs.
Select a terminal.
Unit order advanced mode. This section focuses on unit order advanced move. I think I said mode before. Advanced move. You might want to create a cinematic sequence in your mission where a squad of troopers advances and engages any bugs they encounter along the way. Alternatively, you could have an allied squad move forward while actively attacking. This is where the unit order advanced move trigger comes into play. With this trigger, you can set it so that the troopers will attack move and be aggressive as they progress toward their destination. This trigger works for both blackboard names and pre-placed units. Conditions: none. Effects: unit order advanced move.
You can issue orders for units, whether they are allied or enemy units, to attack move to a specific location. While under this effect, the units will move to the designated location and engage any enemy they encounter along the way.
They did it. They're moving and attacking. I just want to see if they're going to stop there.
Select a terminal.
Text bubble add. Text bubble add triggers. This simple and user-friendly trigger is called text bubble add. In some cases, you may want to offer hints to your players, whether it's to describe an item or unit, or to provide guidance such as capture this base or move units here. This trigger doesn't require specific conditions to be set up, but is often used in conjunction with another trigger or condition. Text bubbles can be configured to appear for a specified duration or indefinitely. Triggers used in this section: condition: none. Effects: text bubble add.
You might want to provide hints to your players, whether it's to describe an item or unit or offer guidance like capture this base, or move units here. Text bubbles are a valuable tool to use in your missions.
Okay. 1 trooper, 2 troopers, 3 troopers.
Select a terminal.
Enable and disable triggers. In this section, we cover trigger/folder enable and disable. In your mission, you may want to enable or disable a folder full of triggers. This is where the trigger enable and folder enable triggers come into play. For this, we are going to use 1 unit order move, 2 units near target, and 3 unit redeploy. These will be the triggers and folder we want to enable and disable. When you move your unit to the enable section, it will activate a folder, causing the tactical officer to move to a location. Once they reach the specified location, they will redeploy back to the starting point and continue repeating this cycle until the folder or trigger is disabled. To achieve this, simply move your unit to the disable section and it will halt the tactical officer from repeating their laps. To re-enable the laps, move your unit back to the enable section. To ensure this trigger operates consistently, be sure to adjust the value in the trigger execute box from 1 to -1. Triggers used in this section. Units near target. Effects trigger enable, also used to disable triggers. Folder enable, also used to disable folders. Unit order move, and unit redeploy.
There will be occasions when you need to either disable or enable a trigger during your mission. These functionalities are useful when you want a trigger to activate after a specific action has occurred. In this example, we're using a simple redeploy trigger. You can enable and disable it by moving your officer to the appropriate zone.
Yes? Affirmative.
I enable the trigger.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
He's doing it. He's looping.
This ain't gonna be a picnic. Yes, sir. This ain't gonna be a picnic.
And then we loop him again.
Affirmative.
Then we stop him from looping.
Roger that.
Select a terminal.
16, adding objectives. In this section, we will focus on objectives. Objectives are an important part of any mission. They let the player know what THEIR, their next task will be. They need to be enabled and also have a status change depending on the outcome. There is a README folder and trigger located within the trigger tab within the editor. That explains how you can add and change objectives. Triggers used in this section: conditions, unit ownership, affects objective enable/disable, objective status.
Objectives are a crucial component of any mission as they inform the player of their next task. They need to be enabled, and their status should change based on the outcome. Most of the objective editing is performed through the Objectives tab in the editor.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Objective: reactivate gun turrets.
Objective complete.
Thank you
On standby.
for letting me
Ready for
know,
orders.
Mr. Robot. We got a dropship. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, there we go. There was like a timer on it. Okay, variable triggers. Variables are a fundamental concept in programming, serving as tools to store and manage data. They function as containers or storage locations in your map, holding the information necessary for your map to function. Imagine them as labeled boxes where you can place various items, add or remove as needed, and even use them as hidden counters. Variables have names that you choose, which are crucial to identifying and accessing the data stored in the variable. Variable names should not contain spaces. Variables play a vital role throughout your map, helping with calculations, decision-making, and data storage. For instance, you can use a variable to count something such as power cells to open a gate, as illustrated in this section. Here's an example of how a variable is used in this section. Variable check. Power cells 1 equals 0. This variable holds a value of 0 data for power cells 1. Variable set. Power cells 1 plus 1. You're adding 1 to the data stored in power cells 1. Main triggers used in this section. Units near target. Variable check affects scenario variable set.
Variables are a useful tool for maintaining hidden counters, especially when the player is required to collect items in your map and need a way to count them. Variables can help you keep track of these activities. Begin this section by moving your unit to the gate, then collect a power cell at the nearby generator and install it at the gate by approaching it. While this is happening, your variable is silently keeping track in the background. Proceed with this process until the gate finally opens.
Yeah, variables are a good way to create branching paths. What did it tell me to do? I just go into these generators until I get enough of a variable to open this door. Two power cells required. Power cell removed. Give me my power cell number 2. It said continue until... Yeah, we've inserted one of 2. Power cell removed. We did it. Gate opening. But yes, I personally like going overboard with variables. You can, if you're like diligent with it, especially when it comes to like dialogue trees, you can create all kinds of variations to things.
Select a terminal.
Okay, random trigger. Random trigger events add an element of surprise and unpredictability to the gameplay. These events can make missions more interesting and challenging. In this explanation, we'll explore what a random picker event is and how it affects a game mission. A random picker event is like spinning a wheel of fortune within a game. It's an element of uncertainty where the game, instead of you, makes a choice. Random picker events are a way to inject excitement, challenge, and unpredictability into the game. They keep players engaged by providing unexpected outcomes and making each mission unique. Whether you strike it rich with supplies or face adversity, these events make your gaming experience more thrilling and dynamic. A picker event usually involves a selection from a predefined set of triggers/folders. Main triggers used in this section: timer check, effects, timer set, random trigger, enable trigger/disable.
In this segment, we will employ a random selection mechanism to designate one group of rifle troopers as having green ownership. Their ownership will revert to gray, and then, after an additional 10 seconds, it will switch back to green. This cycle will continue throughout this example.
Yeah, I forget what the mission was called, but we did do a defensive mission quite a while ago that that showed off this kind of thing very well, which it was the one where not only you had like the starting choice of like 5 different options, something like that, and it was like a base defense mission, and like random events would trigger out throughout the mission. And all this is doing is like it's giving us control randomly of one of these 3 every time this triggers. But
Select a terminal.
you know, this probably also guaranteed would be probably in like advanced stuff, but it would be neat to see Finding Pudge do this for some of the very more unique maps out there, like Freezy did all those bug maps, right? And the mechanics in each one are different every time. All 3 of those maps are wildly different, but it's like the ones that actually spawn bugs the most are the first and third. And having I mean, theoretically, you could just go into that map and see how Freezy did it, but also it would be neat to have like that included in like a advanced tutorial course like this as well, so you'd have a concise option select of things to learn about as well in one of the advanced ones if the bug stuff was included. But all right, over to, oh, okay, it's just talking about this. All right, Hive related triggers. Within the Hive related section, we'll explore the fundamentals of arachnid hives along with some essential triggers that can be linked to these hives. And yeah, I know this sounds like it's exactly what I was talking about, but this means when they're the enemy, you know? Arachnid hives are likely to play a role in your mission, and integrating triggers with them can either cause delays or initiate specific actions. Hives can be strategically placed as neutral gray, remaining inactive when the player is nearby. However, activating the hive after a certain action will prompt the spawning of arachnids. Moreover, you can establish conditions tied to whether the hive is cleared, triggering subsequent actions, whether they involve objectives or other events. To practice this tutorial, hover over the terminals and select them to activate some of the hive triggers. Main triggers used in this section: condition, hive status, hatchery population, effects, hive status set, unit owner switch.
In this tutorial, we'll delve into arachnid hives, a crucial element in your mission. Utilizing triggers with these hives can either assist or challenge the player, and will concentrate on the various actions you can take with hives. Let's begin by clicking on Terminal 1. Once that segment is complete, feel free to click the Reset Terminal, and we can start anew, this time focusing on Terminal 2.
I don't know, him saying anew made me laugh because the rest of it was like normal English, and then he like switches to like, you know, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Anew is like something you hear out of like a knight in like olden times or a king or something, you know? But it don't matter. Terminal 1.
At the moment, this hive is configured as neutral, meaning no bugs will spawn from it regardless of the player's proximity. Now, let's switch things up and set it to active, changing its owner to the arachnids. We can achieve this using the hive status set and unit owner switch effects.
Sensors are picking up new bug hive activity.
The bug hive, it's activating its activity. You know, that just triggered my mind, like for the talking about the anew thing and all this. It made me think about this is very unrelated, extremely unrelated, but like people nowadays use ChatGPT for all kinds of things. Like I just had the idea, can you tell that thing to like talk in like old-timey English? Can you be like, oh, but give your answer, like do this for me, generate this, but hey, give your answer in old-timey English. You know, like, does it know? Can it do that? I don't know, but I'm curious now.
In this phase, we'll set up an event to unfold once the hive has been cleared of arachnids. Whether it's marking an objective as complete, introducing new bugs for the next hive, or providing a briefing confirming the hive is cleared, we'll tailor the triggers accordingly. For this phase, we'll employ the hive status and hatchery population triggers to verify that the hive is free of arachnids. Once confirmed as cleared, these triggers will initiate the designated outcome.
Sensors are picking up new bug hive activity.
Yes, sir.
You know, choosing the pulse troopers here is actually kind of funny because you could totally mess this up and die as the pulse troopers unless Finding Pudge gave them like infinite health. He might have.
Roger that.
Like if we had just activated this ability right off the bat, they could have botched it and died.
Follow me.
And they did die. They certainly did not have infinite health.
Objective complete.
Sir, additional supplies are now available.
I got supplies! Unbelievable!
Sir. Yes, sir.
The reset only works for the one.
Select a terminal.
Start mini mission. Ooh, okay. Now you've had a chance to explore all the sections in this short tutorial. How about experiencing some of them in action through a playable scenario? Citizen. Don't worry, it won't be too long or very challenging. It's just to give you a taste of the editor's capabilities and what you can create.
Command has instructed me to reactivate a nearby radio station. I should get moving.
Sir. Affirmative. Roger that.
I wonder how I can go about getting this gate to open.
A terminal!
What is it? Hurrah! Roger that. Good to go. Roger that. Hurrah! Roger that.
You know, this is very unrelated to this.
Hurrah!
Something like made me think about how
Hurrah!
in the old days, like the GBA days, back when level editors were pretty unheard of at the time, Advanced Wars 2 had a level editor, but it was just like you could just make it for you, right? There was no like you upload it to anything at the time.
Let's hope this control panel has the power to unlock the gate.
And it just has me wondering, like, because they did that remake, right? Like Nintendo Switch, they did that re-release of Advanced Wars on there.
Roger that.
And, you know, I keep putting a D on it because that's how I always said it as a kid. I'm pretty sure there is no D. Just like, it was never Game Boy Advance, duh. It was Game Boy Advance, even though I always added the D as a kid. And then all the games were like, this Advance, that Advance. I always said it with a D, even though it wasn't there. But I'm pretty sure that's on, like, Nintendo Switch now. And did they...
Comms base
Were they...
operational, sir.
Did they do that? Were they smart enough
I'm
to...
reporting that Outpost Victor Zulu is now fully operational. However, we'll need to construct supporting structures to facilitate unit reinforcement in this area.
This is Command. A construction crew is en route to your location to kickstart the operation. We recommend exploring the nearby area, as there may be leftover supplies from the last evacuation during the arachnid attack.
Outpost Victor Zulu. I don't know, the way he said that stood out to me. You gonna talk anymore? Time until building is ready. That sound effect was
I've
weird.
acquired the necessary supplies to request a rifle squad.
You said a rifle squad, but what if I get two?
Troopers, squad moving out. Troopers, listen up.
Look alive, yes, sir. Sir.
But yeah, what I was saying was
Squad moving
Advanced Wars. Before anything else triggers here, because obviously something will. Did they add it so that you can still edit maps, but like, did they add an interface to where you can play other people's? Because I would do that.
Come on.
That was a neat thing about Advanced Wars back in the day, that it had that, and I would hope Nintendo would include that in their re-release of it, in their like remaster of it.
Come on, you apes. Squad moving out. Roger that.
But I don't know if they did.
Sir,
Give me the building materials.
Sir, come on, you apes. Troopers, standing by.
Objective complete.
Objective complete. You know what that voice reminds me of? That reminds me of the DK64 like narrator guy.
Looks like the bugs have decided to stay. Let's make it our mission to clear them out from the area.
But yeah, the like DK64 guy that like when you complete a mini game he goes, "Well done." That guy, that's what it reminded me of.
Come on, you apes.
troopers, listen up.
What is it? Good to go. Hoorah!
Standing by.
Objective complete.
Good to
Our
go.
war support has increased, sir.
See, you could add it in right after that. Objective complete. Well done.
Standing
Yes,
by.
sir. Hoorah! Infantry, standing by.
We must evacuate these civilians.
Bring the civilians here. Go there, civilians.
Look alive, troop squad. Moving
Listen
out.
up. Roger that. Troopers, listen up.
Tutorial complete. You've successfully completed this mini mission. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial explaining the uses of basic triggers and have gained some insight into using the editor. Once you've mastered the basics, you can progress to more intricate trigger designs and make your missions truly stand out. Now it's your duty, a citizen, to shape the world around you.
Objective complete.
Objective complete. I wasn't prepared for it to yell objective complete at me again. All right, well, and it showed in the description the pathing necessary to get this into your editor if you wanted to look at these triggers. In the description when we were on there, it did say it. But see, so we're here now. This is what it's called. It's called 328825385. And so we could either play or we could go to edit. All right. So this is where they all are. Unit advanced move. Okay. Wow. Yeah, he could add way more. He's got plenty of space here. Just a little bit of room here used for the little tutorial zone. Spawn unit. Man, it's been so long since I've been in this thing. I checked. I went in here like the when it was new. Okay, so I have not been in here since. Let's see. Is it objectives? No. I'm trying to look at triggers. Okay, so if I click on random things, does it show them, or how do I do this? Okay, well, let's see. If I like click on one of these, a README folder. App launch, intro briefing. Start mini mission. Okay, here we go. Here they all are. So you could then theoretically go one by one through these and see what he did. Yeah, you could check all of them. I'm just going to click through all of them. Yep. I'm just gonna click through all of them just to show, in case anybody was curious, exactly what all of them had in here. Almost through them all. 18. Hive-related stuff. Clicking green flag. Okay, yeah. That's all the green flag stuff. Yeah, so this, yeah, like I said at the beginning, this was brilliant having all of this in here. For those new to the editor or that just want to, like, quickly reference something to know how to do something specific, this is fantastic. I think I think everyone should go thumbs up this mission. It's this thing is brilliant, but all right. That is where I'm calling it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.